What's good, YouTube? Super Insane 18 here with another episode of our Road to Ranked series. Today we are probably going to lose, if I'm being honest. The team that I made is mostly focused around that Blastoise that you're seeing here, and I really liked the idea of Blastoise with Terrain Pulse. So if you saw the team there, you see that there are 3 different mons to set up 3 different terrains, and honestly, it's just a very difficult team to play. Having to juggle through the terrains and trying to use Blastoise when realistically Blastoise isn't that great. But we're going to go ahead and see what we can do here. But just expect that we're probably going to be losing. But we will definitely try our best. So it's a fun team to play. I had a blast playing it and testing it, but the win-loss rate honestly is about 50-50, so we'll see. And it's taken a bit of time to find an opposing trainer. It is very early in the morning, so I'm not surprised that it's taken a little bit of time. We're just going to go ahead and cut until we get one. Alright, so we got an opposing trainer. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, they're very high on the ladder here, so I'm not expecting too much. Okay, so he's got the Whimsicott, and that threatens our own Tornadus' Tailwind. Overall, very threatening team. I think I'm going to lead the Tornadus Blastoise. We're gonna bring the... No, Rillaboom's not really good. Let's bring the... This team kind of completely demolishes ours. But that's why they're 900 and something and we're in the 8,000s. Let's go ahead and bring Indeedee. And then for the last one, I'm thinking Urshifu. So they were already locked in, meaning they already had their game plan for us. But let's see if we can manage to pull a win out of here. Alright, and they send out... Okay, so they send out the Whimsicott and the Tapu Lele. Okay. Honestly... I'm not sure, but I think Tornadus is faster. So part of me wants to taunt here. And then I kind of want to just get the Cannonade off on this Tapu Lele. Okay, and they didn't max. Well, they might have. I believe Tapu Lele is actually slower than Blastoise because I'm max speed, so... We're gonna see here if we can manage to do something good. Okay, the Whimsicott is faster, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we're turning off any of its other moves here. So, oh, Psychic, I'm an idiot. Okay, so that's gonna do a ton of damage. We're gonna get the Cannonade off. And that does good damage. I think what we do here is we Heat Wave with the Tornadus and just Max Guard with the Blastoise. Well, let's not even Heat Wave. Let's just go ahead and Air Slash into the Whimsicott slot, and then we can Max Guard here. So this will prevent our Blastoise from going down, because he might try to target it down again. Went for the switcheroo, so I think we're probably getting an eject button here. Yeah, okay. That's fine. So, unfortunately, the Tornadus gets the eject button, but that's fine. This should take out... Okay, perfect. So we're actually doing really well. The Cannonade damage is going to take out the Tapu Lele. The only thing is that my opponent still has their Dynamax. So we can set up our Tailwind here. The Tailwind is actually going to last 2 turns longer than my opponent's, which is good. What does he send out? Okay, so he sends out the Zapdos, and he sends out the Urshifu. So let's Tailwind here. He's probably going to max his Zapdos and take out our Blastoise, but we don't really have anything to do for that. We're going to try and Hailstorm it just in case. But this should be a dead Blastoise if I've ever seen one. Best case scenario is he goes for like an Airstream and we're just bulky enough to barely live it. But then he probably just doubles in with the Urshifu and it's... We'll see though. So we get our Tailwind up. He goes for the Airstream. It's into the Blastoise. Can we live? No, we cannot. And then he's going to force our Tornadus to switch out. If he doesn't just flat out kill us with like a Wicked Blow. Okay. Okay, so we barely lived that. So we might be able to do some cheeky things. We are Scarfed. I kind of want to try to waste out the Dynamax on my opponent's Zapdos, but I don't think I will. So we can either Dazzling Gleam here, or Mystic Fire into the Zapdos slot. I think the better play is to Dazzling Gleam. And then honestly Heat Wave. Like, I don't think that the Tornadus is even going to get a move off. Yeah, okay. So unfortunately this is probably just going to be the death of our Indeedee as well, with 2 Airstreams, and I believe he still has Tailwind up. He should be faster, and the Wicked Blow will take us out. Yep. Okay, so now we've got our own Urshifu, and there's not a whole lot that I can do here. Honestly, no, Detect doesn't even do anything because... Okay, so the Tailwind peters out. So Detect doesn't do anything here because the Urshifu can go through it, so... I think this is just game. I don't see a way that we win this. We had a really strong start, but unfortunately we just couldn't handle the Dynamax Zapdos. Yep, and that's going to take us out because we're not Focus Sash. And that is game 1, guys. So again, we had a really strong start. Honestly felt like we could probably pull it out, but we just didn't have anything to answer the Zapdos, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and jump into the next battle. I'd like to get at least 1 win with this team. Also, if any of you guys watching have any suggestions for the team, definitely feel free to let me know. Terrain Pulse Blastoise is something that I really want to mess around with. Blastoise is one of my favorite starters. Obviously, you know, I still prefer Charizard like most people do. But as far as all of the starters go, Blastoise is definitely up there for me. Alright, and here's another trainer, so let's go ahead and, okay, they're still pretty high, in the late 2000s there. Okay, so he's probably going to go for some sort of Dragapult shenanigans. I think I want to lead the Tornadus Blastoise again, because the Tailwind and then Water Spout should be very good here. And then we definitely want to bring the Urshifu in the back. And probably the Indeedee. Looking at the team, well no, the Indeedee's really weak to 3 of his mons. Tapu Koko isn't really good because it would set up the electric terrain for the Elekey. Let's bring the Rillaboom. It's not the ideal Pokemon because he has the Colossal, but hopefully we can get rid of that Colossal fairly easily. There's nothing else on our team that's really equipped to handle anything on his. But what I'm hoping for is that he just gets really greedy and tries to max the Colossal and go for a Surf. That is the ideal course of action for us. Alright, so they lead Rillaboom-Spectre. That leads me to believe that he is going to just fake out the Tornadus and do big damage with the Spectre. So I want to... I definitely think I have to max the Blastoise here, but do I switch the Tornadus or do I just let it get faked out? I think I just let it get faked out, honestly. Like, if he doubles into it, then it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And then I just want to flat out cannonade into the Spectre. Like, honestly, getting the Spectre out of the way is so crucial. It's got, like, a really bad move pool, but it's just so ridiculously strong that it doesn't matter. And he maxes first, so we know he's maxing the Spectre here. So if I had to guess, he's probably going to just double into the Tornadus to prevent me from getting off any sort of Tailwinds, which is fine. I don't think the Cannonade kills it if it's maxed, but it will still do very good damage. Unless he tries to just double into the Blastoise here with like a Grassy Glide and then whatever the Spectre is planning to do. Which that could definitely cause trouble for us. Okay, so he faked out just as I thought. Now the question is, does he double into the Tornadus? Okay, so he went for Max Strike. Yeah, okay. So we're not going to get any sort of Tailwinds off. It is going to make our Venusaur pretty slow. Or Venusaur, our Blastoise pretty slow. And unfortunately he gets a special attack boost with the Grimnay, but it is Life Orb. So maybe between Cannonade and Life Orb, we'll be able to take it out. Oh no, that does nothing. Okay, yeah, this game is over. I'm still gonna try, but like that does laughable damage. So it might not be as bad as I'm thinking. We have the Urshifu in the back, and it's got black glasses. So the Sucker Punch might be able to take it out. And then a Hailstorm into the Rillaboom might take that out. So we're going to try it that way. We're going to Sucker Punch into the Spectre, and we're going to Hailstorm into the Rillaboom. My opponent's taking a while. He's probably debating whether or not to either switch the Spectre or guard on the Spectre. Okay, so he does go for the guard, which is fine. We can just Sucker Punch on the next turn unless he tries to double guard. Ooh, okay, the Wood Hammer. That's bad. Okay, but we live it, so we're fine. No, the Hail's gonna take us out, isn't it? No. Okay, with any luck, we get the heal from the Grassy Glide before the damage from the Grassy Spring, before the damage on the Hail. Nope. Come on, don't take us out. Don't take us out. Don't take us out. Thank you. Okay, so this is a bit of a roller coaster of emotions here. But thankfully we are alive, which is what we really need here. So unless he goes for a double guard, the Sucker Punch takes him out. So I think our best case scenario here is double into the slot, because if he goes for guard and guard fails, the Sucker Punch can't hit him. But if he doesn't go for the guard, the Sucker Punch hits him, and he dies, and whatever we use goes into a second Mon. Okay, so he's got his own Urshifu. Hopefully we can... Well, hold on, is this... I think this is our Adamant one. That's unfortunate. We have to look at that. Yeah, this is our Adamant one. So if he Aqua Jets here, we just go down. Let's still Sucker Punch, but I think what we do here is Max Strike. It should turn into Overgrow because of the terrain. Okay, so he gets a double guard off, which is a little unfortunate. It doesn't matter because the Aqua Jet would have outsped us anyway. But it is an Overgrow into a Water Urshifu, so that should do really good damage, brings it down to its Sash. And then we saw that the Hail goes before the heal, so the Urshifu should be done here. Okay. And now it's 2-2. Our Blastoise is still relatively healthy, and he is very low on his Spectre. But unfortunately, the Spectre is very fast, and he already has a special attack buff. We do have the Rillaboom, though, so we can Grassy Glide it. If he gets a third Protect in a row, then I guess he can just have it. Okay, and he's got the Eleki as his last Mon. That's a little bad for our Blastoise. But I think we can still pull this out. So if we Grassy Glide into the Spectre here, the Spectre should go down, and then we Protect here on the Blastoise, right? There's no reason to do anything else. Because the Eleki is definitely going to go for the Blastoise. I don't see why it would ever go for the Rillaboom. Okay, so Blastoise protects, we Grassy Glide. Is that enough to take it? It is, which is very good. Goes for the Electro Web. Does almost nothing to Rillaboom, which is good. Does lower our speed, though, but not that that matters. Eleki's faster anyway. And then he'll also take Cannonade damage. So, if this is the end of grassy terrain, we might be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, it is not the end of grassy terrain. So we can still glide, and then on the off chance that we live, we terrain pulse here, because it'll get the double damage for being in terrain, plus the damage from being grass in grassy terrain. So if we can live this, which we can't, but I still think that we're okay with the Rillaboom here. Oh no, it just goes down here anyway. Okay, awesome. So, we actually won. Honestly, I'm not quite sure how to feel about that one. I feel like we were definitely in a losing position, but our opponent went for some weird choices. I mean, granted, he didn't know that we weren't Jolly, so if he were to assume that we were Jolly, he made the right play by going for a second max guard there. But had he just Aqua Jetted me and then used a Spectre to actually attack, I would have been in a much worse position. But again, that's really, it's not more, it's less that my opponent messed up, and more that he just didn't know I wasn't Jolly. Okay, so we're looking at a Zapdos again. Honestly, that makes me want to just do this and hope he leads it, so I can Tailwind and max Hailstorm into it. I definitely want to bring the Urshifu to handle the Metagross, and then... I'm thinking either the Tapu Koko or the Indeedee. Tapu Koko feels like it would be better, so we're gonna go with that. I can see him leading, like, Rotom Heat and Zapdos. Well, hold on, doesn't Suicune get Tailwind? I think Suicune gets Tailwind. So he could potentially lead the Suicune to set up a Tailwind. We pretty much have to hope that he leads the Zapdos, and that we can Tailwind Hailstorm before he has the chance to do anything to us. As long as we can do that, then I think we're in a really good position. Alright, and he's leading Metagross and Mimikyu, which is okay, I guess. That kind of makes me not want to do it yet. I kind of want to Air Slash this Mimikyu and then just Water Spout. He's probably going, or no, I'm dumb. He's definitely going to max the Metagross and Shadow Sneak into it. I didn't even think of that as an option, honestly. Okay, so he's going to take out the Blastoise, probably. Well, yeah, he has to take out the Blastoise because I'm sashed on the Tornadus. Oh, he didn't Shadow Sneak. Okay. Definitely interesting. Maybe he's trying to get a little greedy with, like, a Swords Dance? We'll see. Water Spout comes out. It's going to do big damage. Unfortunately, not enough to take either of them out, but it's still very good damage nonetheless. We're going to get Ice Punched. As long as he doesn't get lucky with a Freeze, I'm okay with it. And the Mimikyu flinches. So, that's pretty good for us. That means we're going to Tailwind here, and we're going to Water Spout again. Okay, the Metagross protects, which I'm fine with. The Mimikyu is going to go down to this Water Spout. So, takes out our Tornadus, but Tornadus did what it needed to do. And down goes the Mimikyu. So, we're in a good position. We've got the Tailwind up. Our Blastoise is putting in the work. I think we bring out the Urshifu here. And hope that he brings out his Zapdos. If he brings out the Zapdos, then... Okay, awesome. So, part of me honestly just wants to double into it, just to make sure that it dies. So we're going to Wicked Blow, and we are going to max Hailstorm here. He's probably going to max the Zapdos, but we should be faster because of the Tailwind. So the combination of Wicked Blow and Hail should take it out. I'm not really worried about the Metagross at this point. I don't think there's anything that it can do to either of my Mon to get a KO, so we're kind of free to just Wicked Blow it on the next turn. And if this KOs the Zapdos here, then I feel confident in saying that we're going to be getting 2 wins in today's episode. Okay, so as long as the Zapdos doesn't nerf, but I don't think it would. I think he would just want to take out the Blastoise at this point. Okay, so Wicked Blow comes through, does big damage, and then the Hail should definitely take it out. We are Life Orb. I don't see a world in which the Zapdos lives this. Okay, perfect. So we also just successfully completely wasted our opponent's Dynamax. And then whatever he brings in, we should be able to handle no problem. The Metagross does go for an Earthquake. It does meh damage, honestly. But we should be in a very good position here. Okay, yeah, we're just going to Cannonade into the Rotom and Wicked Blow into the Metagross, and that should seal the game. Okay, and our opponent just forfeits. So, we played really well there. They didn't really have a way to handle the Tornadus Blastoise lead, which was great. I'm going to go ahead and throw the rental code up on the screen now so you guys can see. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to do too much shenanigans with the terrains, but that is the idea behind the team. We would have gotten a really cool terrain pulse off if we didn't just automatically die in the earlier battle, but it is what it is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button down below. If there's any suggestions for this particular team, I would love to hear them, or if there's any suggestions in general about what Pokemon or any specific teams that you'd like to see me play, definitely leave that in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.